Today I'm going to show you how to make a rubric using ChatGPT. This is a function that I think all teachers should know about. It's extremely easy and can save a lot of time. Now, the first thing you need to know is that ChatGPT really needs a lot of input from you as a user to kind of create something that is suitable to meet your needs. And it's free and it's easily accessible. All you need is internet access. The first thing you probably should do is go to chatopenai.com and you can create an account. The account is, once again, it's free, and once you log in and create your account, you pretty much can just get started right away. I mean, it starts off, as you see here at the bottom of the screen, it just says send a message, and that will be the prompt that, starts off the process. Now, if you'll see on my left-hand side, I have lots of queries from previous times that I've used it, which is kind of nice. So it keeps a history if you want to go back and modify something or pick up where you left off. And you can delete them, and once again, you can edit them. If you're in a current chat and you just want to start a new chat or a new topic, just go ahead and click on New Chat that's shown up here in the upper left-hand corner. Now, when you go ahead and do your first inquiry, you'll see I've already done this process for this rubric that I was making for a collaborative project with another teacher. And I'm doing an AI tools-based component of this project. And so I just started off like, well, I'm not really sure what criteria I'm going to use, but I know it has to do with AI tools. I'm a little bit tired. It's the end of the day. I'm exhausted mentally, so I'm like, okay, I'll let ChatGPT do the work for me, or the heavy lifting. So I start off with, a couple of statements, questions. It could be anything, really. And I try to throw in as much in terms of, clues or tips or I guess you could say, keywords or key phrases to help guide ChatGPT. Now, what it's going to give you, the first initial output, it may be good, may be pretty much usable just like it is, but for the most part, it probably won't be. So you're going to have to guide it or facilitate this process. And this is the same process, by the way, that I teach the students as well, is that you're using this tool to just kind of do the mundane, heavy lifting, but you still have to be creative and guide it in its process. And so this first initial thing, I said, well, what are some of the actual criteria that I might use in creating a rubric? And you'll notice here, it gave me an output, and it gave me, it looks like, 10 different things that might be usable. And I'm like, fine, okay, I'll just start off with that. You may decide to modify it from here. I decided to just go ahead and create a rubric from this and modify the rubric. By the way, if you like or dislike the, if you like or dislike the output, you can kind of guide it in that direction as well and say, this is nowhere near what I want. And I believe, I've never actually used this function, but I believe what it'll do is it'll regenerate it and try and modify it. The clipboard here is to copy the output, and so you can paste it into like a Word document or a Google document. So as you're going down, you'll see I've done it. And you could tell I was a little bit tired. I don't have proper punctuation or conventions here. But I said, can you make this into a grading rubric? And it did. And so it goes down, and it made it into a rubric. And, it's a point-based rubric. Looks like 5 points. And it's got all those criteria in there. I'm not going to use all the criteria, though. So it's gone ahead and it's done it. And so I decided to ask it another question. I'm like, or give it another command, actually. Can you change the scale to alphabetic? And so, certainly. And it went ahead and it changed it to an A, B, C, D, F. And so it's done that. And then I go down. And by the way, if I was here and I was like, what, actually, I don't want it to be alphabetic. I want it to be, something else. You can actually click on the question, you'll notice right over here, there's a little edit button, and you can just modify it there and start the process from that. And what it will do is give you two branches. It will keep this output, but it'll also give me another one. So for example, I can say, can it be percentile? I don't know, right? And you'll notice now it actually has a 2 of 2. So I can go back, I can go back and look at the alpha one as well. But right now it's generating it and it's going to give me percentile, right? I'm going to let it finish. You could tell it to stop generating, by the way. Sometimes it is quite slow if it's a busy day, I guess, at Google. Or actually, this isn't Google, this is OpenAI. But I'm going to let it do its thing. But like I said, if I want, I can go back and look at my alpha one just by clicking on here. So now I have both. They're like branches of a tree, and you can follow whichever branch you want. Okay. So I'm going to go back here to the branch that I've already completed. Now I'm going to say, can you change the criteria of AI and machine learning to AI tools? And lo and behold, it did it. Not only did it change just the criteria, but, oops, sorry, my keyboard is not behaving. Not only did it change the criteria, it changed each of the actual criteria for each of the portions or columns, right? And that's really, really cool. That's the beauty of ChatGPT or these AI-based tools. It just doesn't do the one command you ask. It actually follows it along the path and changes everything that's linked to it, right, or dependent on it. And so now I've got a pretty good rubric. And so you'll notice the next few things I'm going to say, can you take out a certain criteria, and it regenerates. Can you change this criteria to something else? And it'll do it. And I just kept going on. Can you, change this criteria, so on and so forth. And it just keeps going. Can you take out another one? And take out another one. And so finally I end up with this last one, this last rubric that I think is pretty good. Now, I can copy this, and if I do that just by clicking on this button right here, it's going to copy just the text, which isn't what I want, because then when I paste it into a Google Doc or a Word doc, it's just going to look like, let me show you. If I go here and I do new and I do document, if I paste this isn't very usable, right? This is all condensed in here. So it's not, once again, I can't use that. So what I'll do instead is I'm going to hold down and highlight what I want, right? Just let it kind of scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my document, and I'm going to paste. You could do paste without formatting, which will give me exactly what I don't want, which is just the text. But I want to paste it so it actually has the rubric already in a table. And once you do that, you just clean it up a bit, change the columns, change the alignments, and you're pretty much set and you're ready to go. I hope you find that useful, and it will save you a god-awful amount of time.